Welcome to a Monday. Are you feeling fine? I said, let's get ready to party. Oh, truth is on the line, yeah. Ooh, we gonna be talking about conspiracy. You know that I'm a funk machine now. We're gonna be talking up the truth. Now, what are you gonna do? Well, it's time to rage and rally. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. You guys ready to get this party started? All right, you know what to do. You know what to do. Slam that thumbs up right now. I want to see. I want to see 15 thumbs up to get us started. Just to get us started. 15 thumbs up. And I already toked my bolskishi. All right. I can't do that on camera every single time. I have to smoke outside now because people are complaining about the smell. So people are complaining about the smell. I had to smoke outside. So there's not going to be any bolskishi. But here's the deal. This is a live truth stream. It's not about smoking. It's not about getting high. But if you want to get high, go ahead and get high. I'm going to need you to hit the thumbs up either way, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in. I saw this really good comment and I wanted to cover it real fast because every once in a while, one of you guys makes a comment and gets me thinking, and on the spot, I got to react. So we literally have a man's whose name I'm not going to read because he's named himself after a very famous actor. And if I talk about this very famous actor, I run the risk of having something bad happen to my channel. So I don't want anything bad to happen to my channel. So I can't say the name of this commenter, but the name is of an actor at events. We'll just say he's a croissant actor, a creases actor, if you will. And so Adam, oh shit, I've said too much, says, do you guys think being a drug addict makes you a bad person? I don't know. I feel I've been brainwashed by society to feel guilty about doing drugs. Probably not the time or place to ask, but it's on my mind. Hey, that's a great comment and a great question. And you know what? I battle with that exact same question comment that you have. I sometimes just want to get high and drunk and eat mushrooms and do a bunch of whippets all day long, and among other things. But like, there's days where literally that's like what my mind tells me to do, and I have to be like, no, don't do that. Do something constructive. And there's an inner battle, an inner drug addict battle that goes on with me as well, to where there are days when I fall off the wagon, let's say, and I end up eating mushrooms, which leads to me then drinking a bunch of beer and smoking weed. And then let's say I make another bad decision on top of that, and then go buy a big old box of whippets, and then just one after the other, just do every single damn one. And then I sit there having a great time sometimes. Sometimes I actually have a really good time. And then other times I feel guilty. And so I'll be having a good time, let's say. And then after I drink so much and zonk out after 4 or 5 hours, come down, then I feel guilty. And then I tell myself, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then I can go a week, maybe 2 weeks, not drinking at all, totally quit cold turkey, not making those bad decisions and just keeping it to just weed. But then out of nowhere, I'll just feel like having a beer. Just just feel like having one, and then I'll feel guilty for just having one. And so it's constant battle with just small stuff like weed, beer, coffee. Like I start drinking coffee too much, and then I get mad at myself for drinking too much coffee. But then if I stop drinking coffee, then I don't feel like I have that much energy. And so then there are days where I don't feel energetic and I don't feel motivated. And I want to be energetic and motivated for you guys so that I can put on a funny performance. I can say and do whatever I want to say and do and be creative with it and feel good. And there are days where just living in this rigged, shitty reality, uh, I might feel like not even motivated enough to make a YouTube video. I might start getting depressed and start wanting to make bad decisions all day long. And so it's a constant battle when you're living in this evil world to stay sober. And then when you're sober and you look around, you're like, damn, this place sucks. And all my friends and family are turning into zombies. Is there even a reason to be sober anymore? So then the question becomes, if we're screwed, the NWO is going to take over and we're screwed, then why not just get as high as possible? There are some people that get as high as possible, seem to be having just as fun of a life. And so it makes me wonder if us as humans, that we were put here to get as high as possible and experience all these drugs. Are we supposed to be receptacles for substances? Because what I can tell you is that today I have not eaten any psilocybin. I have not drank any alcohol, and all I've done today is drink some coffee, smoke a little marijuana, and that's it. So those are the only two things I've done today. And you know what? I kind of feel like something's missing. So there's a part of me that wants to just microdose. You guys ever do that? Microdose. That's where you just eat just a little bit to make yourself feel better. So that can be the trade-off. If I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of mushrooms and going crazy, then I can just eat just a tiny little piece of one. So for instance, if I wanted to, I don't know, go out of my mind crazy insane, then I might eat that. Right? That's enough to probably make you feel funky like a monkey. But if I just wanted to kind of feel kind of good for just a little while, well, then maybe I just eat like that little guy right there. Whoop. Just that one. In fact, I think that sounds like a good idea. Now that we're talking about it, that guy in chat brought it up. And I was sitting here deciding whether I should eat a little bit or whether I should not. But I guess I should. All right. I did not expect the stream to start that way. I actually had this whole other plan on how I was going to start the stream, but there's a commenter named Adam, not going to say his last name. First name Adam, can't say his last name for obvious reasons. If you guys want to scroll and find Adam's comment, you'll understand why I can't say his last name. He's got one of those names I'm not allowed to say. I'm allowed to say it, but bad things can happen to your channel. So, yeah, Adam, I battle the same daily battle, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. If I have a really awesome trip and am in a good mood, it's a better day than when I'm just sober, it seems like. So all the best and the most amazing times I've ever had in my life that I can remember pretty much come in my adult years, I should say, pretty much come when I'm tripping out, having the time of my life. And so yeah, I actually have this battle where I don't have experiences that like are super negative, and so I'll have some awesome experiences to go off of, and so I don't have like a crippling drug that like completely brings me down and holds me down, and so I have to actually like just keep it under control as far as like uh, getting thrown off course, not completing my goals and stuff I want to do. Because I notice if I get high all day, drink a bunch of beers, eat a bunch of mushrooms, that I'll end up just like watching YouTube videos and not really getting stuff done. Or like I'll go out. Let's say if I go somewhere like over to the ocean or whatever, I'll just like trip out and listen to music and stuff and try to like enjoy the actual trip. And so um I notice that if I get too much into doing stuff like that, that then I get burnt out and then I feel guilty for doing that. But then if I just sit there sober, then I get bored and I want to reward myself with a trip and an adventure. And basically, I feel like if I go out in nature, for instance, and I'm just walking around, even if it's beautiful, for whatever reason, I can't fully enjoy it if I'm sober. It's just like, yep, I'm here now. What? Okay, yeah, now what? Whereas just the little bit of psilocybin can make me be like, wow, these trees are beautiful, man, this place is awesome. And so just the little bit of psilocybin can make me actually start appreciating nature. And so I noticed that definitely with psilocybin that like I can go from being sober and not really caring about nature that much, and then I'll eat a little psilocybin and then walk around and be like, holy crap, that squirrel is so cute, man, nature is awesome. It was put here for me. And so I don't even know what I'm really getting at, except that I feel like sometimes some of the greatest joys I've had were under the influence of drugs, and they haven't like completely destroyed my life or anything. And so I go through a battle like you do, maybe, where you wonder, like, okay, if it's not really harming me, then is it okay to do? And if so, how much, how often? It feels wrong to do mushrooms and weed and beer and whatever every day. It feels wrong. But at the same time, the days where I do it and feel good and have fun, and nothing bad happens or becomes of it, well, some of those days are some of the funnest days I've ever had. For instance, I've went to Santa Cruz and watched my favorite band, Blue Oyster Cult, play while I was under the influence of psilocybin, and had a great time. And then I rode the roller coaster all night long with my friends, and so basically it's some of the best times I've ever had in my life. And I think back and I think, okay, would I have enjoyed it as much sober? And the answer is no. The answer is most definitely no. And I also have had some of my better comedic performances under the influence of a little bit of psilocybin, or maybe a lot. Uh, Sometimes it causes me to think, feel, and say funnier things than usual. So people have noted that I'm funnier when I eat a little bit of magical fungi. It turns me into a fun guy. Holy crap. So that comment was cool. I don't know if you guys ever battle the same deal. See, I have this battle where it's like, okay, motivation. It's always like motivation and energy. How much motivation do I have and how much energy do I have in any given moment? And what do I feel like doing with it? So sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna make a video. What do I want to make a video about? I'm gonna look some stuff up. And then an hour later, I'm like, I'm gonna go to my car and smoke. And then I come back, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap because I'm getting tired. And I can convince myself to just lay down. And then 4 or 5 hours will just burn away. I'll just nap the day away. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, holy shit, I've wasted the day. And then I feel guilty. I'm like, I gotta make myself go do something. So I make myself go do something. Take the dog out for a walk. go go to the park and stare at the sun just to make sure I get some sunlight. So that's another thing. If I don't get any actual sunlight, then I feel guilty. So I can actually, if I sit here in this office, start to get angry at myself and be like, dude, what are you doing in this office looking at this computer screen? You need to go outside and get some sunlight. So, one awesome thing about having a dog is that it forces me to basically go out on walks. And so, because Rusty wants to go out on walks all the damn time, pretty much 2, 3, 4 times a day, I'm taking him out for walks. And so, I'm usually going to parks and stuff. And so, having a dog forces me, which is a good thing, to get out there and walk around and be outside. And so, I still get to get out there and enjoy my walks in nature, if you will. I get to be one with nature. All right. Let me read some other comments. Mad Max says, get high or die. That's no lie. Adam Manning says, I do, bro. That's right. I do too, bro. Misanthropic Freebeat says, you got to experiment, but not overdo it. I agree. But the problem is you experiment and then you find something you like, and then you're like, shit, I want to do that again. And there are certain drugs that are highly addictive. See, certain drugs like psilocybin, for instance, I can go weeks without it, months without it. Um, so I'm not like, oh my God, I have to be high on mushrooms all the time. Whereas, like, I've been smoking weed since I was a teenager, 17 years old. And so that's pretty much like a crutch of mine, like every day smoking. And that's definitely something that I consider like a total addiction. Whereas I can like give up beer for even for weeks. And then out of nowhere, I'll just be like, all right, I just feel like having a beer. And then I'll have a beer, maybe two. But then it's not really a problem. It's just another thing that I'm doing. And so I don't like the money that I spend on it. I don't like uh the low frequency, low vibration buzz. But every once in a while, I just feel that urge that I want to have this cold beer in my hand. And and the lime and the salt. I'm a sucker for beer with lime and salt. It's the lime's fault. It's, that's what it is. It's the fact that I like the taste of lime. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a lime enthusiast. But here's the thing. The lime doesn't taste good by itself. It has to be floating around inside of a beer. All right. All right. So everybody have fun watching rigged football this weekend. There's still people out there that don't know that the NFL is rigged. You guys believe that? There's still people out there that don't know that football's rigged. Yeah, football is more rigged. Is almost more rigged than professional wrestling nowadays, and all the players are in on it. Yes, that's right. All the players are in on it. They're not playing football correctly anymore, and this season especially has been overwhelmingly fake. Las Vegas has absolutely raked people's money. Whoosh, whoosh. And so this season, I would say more so than others, um, has been the absolute fakest that I've ever seen. And more people have woken up to the fact that it's fake and are walking away from it. It's just making me wonder if there's going to be some sort of big event. I don't know if you guys feel like something big is headed our way. Um, but it seems like we have some sort of big event on the horizon, and you have the NFL just blatantly rigging games. Like they don't even care if you figure it out anymore. And also NASA is just blatant with their fake videos now. Like the International Space Station stuff that I see now is just blatantly fake. And so between the NFL rigging games and just being blatant, and NASA being blatantly fake, and this SpaceX fake launches, it's almost like they're throwing it in the face of those of us who are woke, those of us with eyes to see. And so you have to ask yourself why. Why would they make it so blatant? How come they aren't trying as hard as they can anymore? And are they doing it purposely? Are they purposely trying to slap us in the face with it? Are they trying to wake up more people? And so it makes me wonder if like let's say the dollar collapse is coming, or some big giant um false you know what flag is going to be coming, then possibly they don't care if you figure out if it's rigged. So maybe the NFL is going to be shutting down soon. Maybe something major is going to happen, and we're all going to go back into a lockdown mode or something. I don't know, but it seems like the NFL has blatantly made it obvious this year, and all the players are in on it. I never thought all the players could be in on it, but now it's obvious that they're not playing football correctly. You got guys purposely missing tackles, you got guys falling down over and over again. Like guys playing football who are professionals are just suddenly forgetting how to tackle, forgetting how to catch a ball, forgetting how to just like throw a little 5 yard check down pass. It's getting ridiculous. And then when you see the rigged touchdown plays, it's so obvious that guys are missing tackles on purpose. Guys aren't running as fast as they could be running. And so it's obvious to me all the players are in on it, which makes more sense because they all get to play half ass. Less guys are going to get hurt. And so there's less chance somebody's going to take your head off, less chance somebody's going to blow your knees out if you both know it's a rigged game. And so you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and you're basically being a professional wrestler football player playing some rigged football. Yeah, it looks like football, but it ain't football. You know what it is? It's like the Harlem Globetrotters. The Harlem Globetrotters put on a fake basketball game, and it's a big show where the Harlem Globetrotters beat up on some scrubs in a fake basketball game. And so that's what we're getting now is Harlem Globetrotters meets the NFL. And I know a lot of you guys know that sports is fake, and a lot of you don't watch football anymore. But speaking of the of sports being fake, we got the man right here, Pat Truthner, says you don't see the serious injuries as much anymore. Either players are loving it. Yeah, my man Pat Truthner right here is the one that opened my eyes to the whole thing being a rig. I thought it was the referees that were rigging it. I thought it was a few players who were in on it, but I thought that in general there was still some real football going on. No, Pat Truthner broke down these games to the point where he made it obvious to me and obvious to a lot of his subs that all the players are in on it. It's a total work, a total scripted football game. Uh, what makes it most obvious to me is dudes are diving more than ever. They're just diving and falling on the ground, just diving at dudes' feet and getting nothing but air. And then they're acting all disappointed afterwards. Oh, dang it. Oh, I really wanted to tackle that guy. Shoot. This dude, Pat Truthner here, he had less than 1,000 subs like, I don't know, a month ago. Now he's up to almost 4,000 subs. He's the man. Every time he breaks down an NFL game, he goes up like another 300-400 subs, dude. So this dude right here found the magic genie in a bottle, and right now he's getting that algorithm stroke. God, I wish I could get that algorithm stroke, Pat. I might have to start making NFL rig videos like you, man. But guess what? When I made an NFL rig video and it started to go viral over on the asshole channel, some random douchebag copyright struck my video. And so I'm in a copyright dispute against this dude. And so you haven't had to deal with that yet. But some random dude copyright struck one of my vids. And he's not even part of the NFL. He's just some random dude. And so I'm in a copyright strike war with that dude. All right. He says, Jake opened my eyes to a ton of stuff too. Yeah, I hope you watched my recent video about the elephants possibly turning to stone, becoming petrified. I hope a lot of you guys are sub to the asshole channel. Jake the Asshole is the main channel, of course. I posted a video about elephants turning to stone. I like to cover a lot of subjects. A lot of YouTubers only cover like one thing over and 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 over again. But I like to cover multiple different subjects. It keeps my channel interesting, in my opinion. It keeps me entertained, and it confuses my audience, I think. But some of you guys seem to enjoy it. So I made a video about elephants possibly turning to stone, and it has a lot of interesting thoughts that can arise from just that one concept, elephants turning to stone. If you say, oh, that's stupid, that's impossible, well, then you have to wonder, well, then how did the lava come out of the ground and just so happen to make all these different formations in several instances that look like elephants? So then you have to think, okay, lava spews out of the ground and just so happens to lay in a certain way that looks like an elephant, not once, not twice, but several times around the world. And those are just the pictures I included in the video. There's actually more examples out there. So there's plenty of examples of lava somehow forming, or so we're told, because they say that these aren't man-made. They say they aren't carved by man or made with any tools whatsoever, that these are absolute 100% naturally formed rocks that just so happen to look like elephants. Now, if you dive into this subject even further, there's actual giants' heads and full-on statues of people, which are pretty hard to prove came from anything else other than possibly turning to stone. I mean, for instance, there's a giant's head that is in the rocks, and it has eyes and a nose and a mouth, basically. And they say it just happened naturally that way. I forget where it's at. I'll have to make a video over on the asshole channel with the examples. But you can look this up. There's faces that naturally form in rocks, and then you're left to wonder, okay, is it an elaborate joke, or were there giants that actually somehow got petrified or turned to stone? Or did God just put these stones here, these stone faces, and there weren't giants, but God just boop zapped a stone that looks like a giant here just to let us know that creation is how we're created. Does that make sense? Probably not. I hope so. So if God, whoever or whatever it is, put a lot of amazing things here just to blow our mind, maybe God did that so that we know God exists. Maybe. And so when I look at these petrified elephants, petrified giants' heads, um, makes me wonder, okay, if mainstream science says that this just happened naturally because of lava, and the same mainstream science says that Earth is a spinning ball shooting around in outer space, and the same mainstream science says that we evolved through evolution, am I supposed to trust mainstream science? No. So whenever I look at anything and then I hear what mainstream science has to say, I always have to think the opposite may be closer to the truth. So mainstream science says that lava spewed forth and just so happened to look like giant elephants, just so happened to look like tree stumps. Let's not forget the tree stumps. So we have elephants, we have actual giants' heads, and what look like the humans that somehow naturally get formed in the rock, and we also have tree stumps, what look to be giant tree stumps. So between the animals, the humans, and the tree stumps, what are the odds that lava just flows that way and just happens to create these things that look like animals, humans, and tree stumps? Seems that the odds are pretty crazy in favor of mainstream science being wrong. I'd say that the odds are in favor of mainstream science being wrong. That's coincidence. I would say that the odds fall on it being totally not a coincidence. And so then the question becomes: were there really big giant trees, or is there just stumps that make us think that there really were giant trees? See, either way, it leads me to believing in a god because I see these structures. Mainstream science doesn't seem to be able to explain them. And I've seen mainstream science fail to explain many things. And so I, regular old Jake, have to just look at these things either in a photo or in person, scratch my head and be like, giant petrified elephant? I don't know. And so I'm one of the honest researchers that'll actually tell you, I don't know if the elephants did get petrified. I don't know if giants roam the earth. I don't know if there were big, huge, giant stone trees. Here's one of my problem with the trees is if those are stumps, then what happened to the top of the tree? Where did it go? That just leads to more speculation. I think that a little bit of mushroom made me really thirsty. Okay. All right. So I wanted to explain from a sheeple's point of view how the earth formed, because it's actually a pretty funny story. It's a pretty funny story that what they tell us. Mainstream science version of how the earth formed, and what most sheeple think how the earth formed. Most people who believe in mainstream science, most atheists, of course, believe in mainstream science. And there's even Christians out there who believe in mainstream science narrative of how the earth formed. It's funny. They call themselves Christians, yet they believe that the earth actually was formed in outer space as a ball spinning around. All right. So the atheists like to say that everything that ever existed was in this little tiny little pinprick. Everything that ever existed all existed inside this little teensy weensy little spot. Everything in the world. So every rock, every planet, every galaxy, everything was in this little spot. And then that spot, for whatever reason, decided to explode. And they call this the Big Bang. And that's the beginning of how life was created. A Big Bang. That's what mainstream science says. And so this Big Bang happened, and there was a bunch of dust. See, a bunch of dust. It's all a bunch of dust that just shot everywhere. And then you know what happened? The dust started to clump together. It started to clump together. Look, clumps of dust. See, clumps of dust. And you know why? Gravity. Gravity started causing all the dust to clump together. And you know what else it did? It caused all the gases to also clump together. So now you have these little clumps of dust and gas. And guess what happened over years and years and billions and billions and billions of years? You know what happened? They started to get bigger. They all started to get bigger. All these clumps got bigger. They just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until all the dust and particles that were floating around all were clumped in these big, huge balls. That's what they did. They created planets and suns and moons. Planets and suns and moons. So it was little clusters of dust. They got bigger. Then they became planet size and moon size. And the biggest ones of all became suns. And then they lit on fire. So the planets made of gas that aren't on fire, those ones didn't light on fire. And the moons don't light on fire. But the sun, it lit on fire. So the sun is a big fireball. I'll even write on there fire. And it burns. It's fire. These are the moons. And gravity, of course, stuff together to form those. All right? You guys are following. Now here's the cool part. Earth was just close enough to one of these fireballs, but not too close. And it wasn't too far away to where it would be too cold. It was just close enough. Do you know what they call that? They call that the Goldilocks zone. Goldilocks zone. I don't call it that. They do. They call that the Goldilocks zone. See, if this is the sun and it's made of fire, see, the sun is made of fire, and here's the earth, and it's not too close, otherwise, we would all burn up. And it's not too far away, otherwise, we would all be frozen. So it's in what they call the Goldilocks zone, which is funny because Goldilocks is a fairy tale. You know, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What the hell does Goldilocks and the Three Bears have to do with this? Oh yeah, that's right. In the fairy tale, she like ate the little bear's porridge and she ate the big bear's porridge and she ate the mom's porridge, and because like she is a girl, she liked the baby's porridge because it was just right. So because there was a little bitch who broke into some bears' houses and stole and ate their baby's porridge, they decided to call this the Goldilocks zone. You're following me, right? This is what mainstream science is teaching children. This is what all globe believers believe. Is exactly what I'm telling you. Here's the earth and it's inside the Goldilocks zone next to the fire. Next to the fire, see? But not too close, not too far. All right. Now, here's the cool part. Here's my favorite part. Somehow, water showed up to Earth and made most of it watery and wet. So it wasn't watery to begin with, but water somehow showed up to the Earth. And you know how it showed up? Well, some people like to think it just like came from icy comets. Icy comets showed up and pelted the Earth over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't happen now, but it did then. It did back then. Or, if you're not cool with that explanation, there were like these clouds, and the clouds just rained, and they just kept raining and raining and raining and raining and raining and raining, and they totally just didn't stop raining until there was just like a bunch of ocean. So, nonstop raining clouds. Now, that doesn't happen now, but it did then. So, it was icy comets and nonstop rain delivered the oceans to the space rock. Get it? So, as this fireball is shooting through space at 1,000,000 miles an hour, so this fireball shooting through space at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's dragging this Earth with it, which goes around the fireball 66.6 thousand miles an hour, right? And then the Earth is also spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So as this fireball is hurtling through space, these icy comets were also pelting the Earth. It's like the icy comets were catching up to the Earth and sneaking in there and pelting it until we ended up with oceans. Are you following? We're getting to the good part. We're almost getting to the good part. So now we have oceans on the Earth. And Earth spinning around this fireball, right? But no animals, no people yet. We got water though. We got water, but no animals, no people. So, you know what happens then? The oceans churn. The oceans churn, and they churn, and then somehow, for some reason, little cells of life showed up in the ocean. We're not sure if they came from a comet or if the ocean just churned them up. A lot of scientists like to call it a primordial soup. That's their words, not mine. Primordial soup. And what they say is it was this big soupy ocean, just a bunch of soup, and a bunch of soupiness just so happened to create these little one single cellular cells of life from soup. Apparently, if you concoct the correct soup with the correct ingredients, it creates life in the form of cells. So, this primordial soup created these little cells. You guys want to see what one of them looked like? It looked like this. See? Looked like that. And then the cell was swimming around in the ocean, and it was like, dude, I'm going to like multiply into two cells and see how that turns out. So then there was all these two-celled creatures. And then these two-celled creatures met up with these other two-celled creatures, and they were like, bros, let's get together and have a foursome. So then they had cell sex and became a four-celled creature, right? It's called evolution. So now we have four-celled creatures swimming around in the ocean. And then these four-celled creatures just kept on like multiplying and becoming like more celled creatures, right? They just kept on becoming more cells. They just like went from being a tiny clump to just these bigger clumps. And then there was this one clump that's like, you know what? I want to be able to swim around in this ocean much easier. And so it grew some fins and some eyes and a mouth. So this one clump of cells grew some fins and eyes and a mouth and became a fish. And then we had fish in the ocean. See? So now we have a fish. And then the fish, he was swimming around in the ocean. And then there was one or two fishes that got hip and realized that there was something above the water. And they wanted to go check it out. So you know what they did? They grew legs. The fish grew legs and got up out the water, started exploring land. And you know what they called it? They called it a frog lizard. That's right. Fish got up out of the water and became frogs and lizards. See? The fish got up out of the water, became frogs and lizards. And then some of the lizards got tired of becoming lizards and they became snakes. So the lizards that didn't like having legs, they just became snakes. All right? You're following me, right? All right. And then a whole lot of evolution went down, a whole lot. And different animals decided to become lots of different things. And so the lizards eventually, some of them just stayed lizards, but other lizards became monkeys. So some lizards decided to stay lizards, and then other lizards became monkeys. And then you guys know what happens from there. Some of the monkeys were hanging out in the forest, and they were like, you know what? I feel like losing my hair and working at an office job in a cubicle and staring at a computer screen. And so the first monkey started losing his hair and started turning into a human. And all the rest of the monkeys who were watching, some of them were getting jealous. And so they decided to also turn into monkeys. But then there were some monkeys who were skeptical about being human. And they were like, screw that. That's some evil shit right there. I'm not gonna turn into a human. So some of the monkeys decided to stay monkeys. But the monkeys that decided to start turning into humans, those are our ancient ancestors, right? Those are our ancient ancestors. And then those ancient primordial monkey people, they all died out. And the ones who look like us uh, are the ones who survived. So we evolved from monkeys into people, and all the crossbreeds of monkey people in between all died. So there are monkeys and there are people, but every single type of monkey people in between, they didn't make it. They weren't good enough. So monkeys are good at surviving, people are good at surviving, but all the primitive relatives in between, not so much. All right. And then we're almost to my favorite part. Here I am, an evolved monkey. I, Jake the monkey asshole, am here with a scratch pad drawing the whole thing out for you. Now, what are the odds? What are the odds that gravity formed all this clumps of shit, formed this fireball, formed Earth in a Goldilocks zone? Somehow the oceans showed up. Somehow little cells of life showed up in the ocean. Somehow those cells of life evolved into fish, which evolved into monkeys, which evolved into me, who's now telling you about it. What are the odds that all that can happen? And you know what? There's atheists rolling their eyes right now, like, that's not how it happened. Yes, it is, according to your mainstream science. God. Yeah, apparently, my great 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 grandpappy was a monkey. and if and his great 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 grandpappy was a fish. And his great 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 grandpappy was a clump of cells. And his great 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 grandpappy was an alien cell that came from a rock from another galaxy. The circle of life. All right, you guys having fun? I bet you didn't expect to have this much fun on a Monday. It's Monday. Doop 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 Monday. Better beep bop Monday. Skitter beep bop Monday. That's all I got. Change up this effect. Change it up. Hey, hello. Hey, hello, how are you? Hey, hello, how are you today? All right, that's annoying. All right. Behold a pale horse. Behold a pale horse. Behold a pale horse says somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Good one. I like that movie. Oofmatic says, "Can we get a background story on how you got your epic hat?" Um, I can't remember if someone else bought it for me or if I bought it for me. But I was in a band called Z Strain, and we used to wear funny hats as our gimmick. That was like our main gimmick, was everyone in the band had on a big funny hat. And so I can't remember if I specifically bought it or if like my girlfriend at the time picked it up for me, or if or who got it for me. I'm actually confused on where I got it from, but I've had it a long time. This is like 10 years old. So I've been wearing it a long time and I can't even remember where the hell I got it from. It just magically showed up. Miss Anthropic Freebeat says, "Wish my atheist dad could hear this." Hey, don't feel bad. I have an atheist dad and he will not listen to me, even when I make like quick, easy, solid points. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. At least I think so. This one debunks heliocentrism. All right. So we see the Big Dipper here in the United States. We see the Big Dipper constellation. In fact, any constellation you see, it has a certain shape, a certain pattern, right? So, for instance, let's go with the Big Dipper, right? It's got that shape, right? So the Big Dipper's got its shape, and you got to think, okay, each one of those stars is shooting at 1,000,000 miles an hour in different directions. So each one of the stars in the Big Dipper, each one of the stars that's making up the constellation, is all shooting in different directions. Think about that. Our sun is said to be shooting through the universe, through space at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So that means all these stars got to be shooting around at about 1,000,000 miles an hour or more, and they aren't all going the exact same direction, right? So all these different stars that make up the Big Dipper or any constellation are all shooting in different directions. So the obvious question becomes, how in the hell does it stay the same shape day after day, night after night, year after year after year after year after year, millennium after millennium? Come on. Come on, man. That's the same shape it has been since the beginning of time. Ever since people have recorded these constellations, that's what shape it was. No matter what constellation we're talking about, they've all stayed the same shape throughout history, not just your lifetime, not just your grandparents' lifetime or your great 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 grandparents' lifetime. Through recorded history, all the constellations, same exact shape. Now, are you telling me that after thousands of years of all these stars shooting in different directions, they're still making the exact same shape constellation? And you know what the answer to that is? They're so far away. That's it. That's their answer. They're so far away that it just looks like it's the same shape forever to you as a human, because your lifespan is just a little tiny blip on the radar, and so is your grandparents and your great 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 grandparents. All of human recorded history is a tiny blip on the radar, and these are so far away that you're never going to see the constellations look any different. That's the mainstream science answer. And so I've cornered my dad with this one, and he just goes, ha, 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 and he does that. He just goes, ha, 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 and shrugs it off. Yeah, Mainstream science says that the Big Dipper looks like the Big Dipper throughout human recorded history and will look like the Big Dipper as long as you're alive and as long as any person is alive. It's always just going to look like that. But you know what they also say? Each one of these stars is shooting at over 1,000,000 miles an hour in different directions. So that's one that if you can get somebody to follow along, like be like, dude, look, the Big Dipper, and then go outside and show them the Big Dipper, and then ask them, how fast do you think all those stars are shooting through space? Make them tell you how fast those stars are going, and then make them start turning the wheels in their own head. Most people don't think about those stars all supposedly shooting away from each other in opposite directions. Not all the stars could be heading in the same direction. So, how in the hell are all the constellations the exact same shape? Huh? How come we haven't left those constellations behind after a few thousand years and start to see some new stars? How come the constellations haven't changed shapes? Seems to me it would make more sense if after 1,000 years this doesn't look like the Big Dipper anymore, or 10,000 years. All right, Javid Ben Cosme. Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. With a donation says, "What's your favorite fake space movie?" Mine is Interstellar. When Matthew McConaughey fell into the Tesseract. Shit. Let me go back and read that again. What is your favorite fake space movie? Mine is Interstellar. When Matthew McConaughey fell into the Tesseract, the visuals look what you see on a mushroom trip. Oh, look like what you would see on a mushroom trip. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Interstellar. I don't watch many movies anymore. But if I had to pick a fake space movie, I liked if I liked Empire Strikes Back. I thought that one was cool. I was never a Star Wars geek, but I did like Empire Strikes Back. I thought that was a cool flick when I was a kid. Um, and then Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers is corny, and I like that one. And Aliens, the second one. So the one where they go to the alien world, and there's tons of nasty aliens. But those are like mean, nasty aliens. Those are like those are just like the nastiest, meanest looking alien. Those are like giant, just hermaphrodite praying mantis, ugly, nasty, mean aliens. But I liked that movie when I was a kid. See, I wouldn't go back and watch it now because I know I would be disappointed. Yeah, Starship Troopers was a funny movie. Uh, let's see. Misanthropic Freebeat says my dad actually used to think the space landing was fake until I told him about the globe being fake. Now he believes it was real. What? He pulled a Joe Rogan? Your dad pulled a Joe Rogan? I actually one time had my dad sitting in front of my big screen and put the lunar module up there in all its glory, and then I zoomed in so that the scotch tape is right in your face, so that the tinfoil is just like right in his face. And he was like, his mouth fell open, and I totally convinced him that the moon landing was faked, and made him believe it. And he totally like he like he almost looked like sickened with himself. And then 6 months later, it was like he forgot. It was like he MK Ultra himself and forgot. It's like he read his newspaper, the USA Today, enough times to convince himself he didn't see what he saw. And then if I bring it up, he acts like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. And he's old, so yeah, my dad is like in his 70s now. So he is old and he's going to forget shit. But it's like he purposely forgot. So that's what I don't like about trying to wake up parents is it's like I have this part of me that wants to wake up my parents, but at the same time it just always goes bad. It never goes the way I want it to. Same with certain friends. There's certain friends who I want to see it. I want them to see the truth, but it never goes down like how I want it to go down. They never see it like how I want them to see it. They never see it how I see it. Whew. So, check this out. So, what they say is we're on the earth, right? I'll draw up earth. And we're these little teeny weeny little humans on the earth, little microscopic little humans. And then we look up in the night sky and we see the Big Dipper constellation year after year after year after year after year after year. Now, we're shooting through space, going around the sun. The sun's that we're going around. Right? The sun's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. So the sun is shooting through space at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and we're on Earth going around this sun. And at nighttime, we look up in the night sky and see this Big Dipper. So, again, after 1,000 years, how come it's still the exact same size, exact same shape, exact same place? Right? Shouldn't we have like traveled along with our sun here at 1,000,000 miles an hour for 1,000 years? Shouldn't we start to see some different stars, some different constellations? Shouldn't these constellations all be changing shape? Seems like they should, but, do you know what mainstream science says? You're a flat earth idiot. It's so far away. These are millions of light years away. And they're just so far away that they're just so far that your mind can't fathom that, like, since they're so far, it's just going to look like that same shape forever to your human lifespan and to all humans and to all humans throughout recorded history. It's always going to look like that forever because your lifespan and humans' lifespan is just so small in the annals of time. And so these are light years away, and so they're so far and it's so long, and your life's so small and you're so meaningless. Just shut up. Just shut up. Your life is meaningless. You're small. They're far away. Light years. Billions. Shut up. That's what their answer is. Ding ding. Javid Ben Cosme, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure, says, I seen David Weiss say the AE map is not the best map, but it's the best one we have so far. Something like that. They've been saying that for 6 years. That's their phrase. They've been saying that for 6 years about a map that has been taken apart and debunked in so many different ways. It's the best that we got. It's not the best, and it is the best that you got. Okay, now here's the deal. Would you go to a high class party or a job interview with like a with a shit stain on your shirt? Would you put on some nasty jeans that have semen stains and mustard stains and a shirt with a big shit streak across it and bums throw up. Would you show up to a job interview looking like that if that was your only clothing and be like, well, it's the best I got. It's just going to have to do. Like, no, the best you got, and that's our best, and that's just the best. It's bullshit. That's their shill excuse that they've been using for 6 years while they wave around a debunked map that fails. His own app debunks itself. If you really look into it, David Weiss's app, the sun is not in the correct place where that app says it is. If you go look up where the sun comes up and where it goes down, it's not represented correctly on his app throughout the year. Nor are the daylight hours correct on his app. He's got to like do some manipulation and he's got to have the North Pole dark. Meanwhile, he has spots over on the opposite side of the map lit up somehow. So it's a big joke. Um, if you try and discuss the shape of the Earth, you're going to get caught up in a cult. They're going to intercept you and intercept your thoughts, and basically, if you try and have a serious conversation about the shape of the Earth, they drive the conversation back to this group of shills in this cult. Furthermore, it's designed to all come down and fail. The map fails and all of the gatekeepers are shills. So it's designed to lead you into a rabbit hole to hell, and it's all a big giant joke on you, and you fail if you fall for it. And here's the bigger problem. You got Mark Sargent right now pushing a flat earth children's show with puppets and muppets. Let me say that again. You have Mark Sargent, a Flat Earth OG channel, one of the original Flat Earth channels from the 2015, 2016 beginnings of the Flat Earth cult. So one of the main people who started the Flat Earth cult, the Flat Earth Society, basically, Mark Sargent, he right now is pushing a children's Flat Earth show. And so a group of flat earthers right now are making content for children. And these guys are also pushing that debunked AE map. So let me paint the picture for you. You have Eric Dubay, who has a children's book. You have Jaron and Dearth deep inside the rabbit hole doing Baby Truther show with Alex Stein, of course. So they're doing the Baby Truther show. And then you have Nathan Thompson, who got arrested for flat smacking children. All right. You have Authentic Intent, who is a speaker at some of the Flat Earth conferences. He's a convicted rapist. And so they're creating content to try and draw in children. Not only that, I think they're creating content for children so that the mainstream media can try and paint flat earthers as child predators. You heard it here, folks. So if you are somebody who is all in the flat earth still, and you like to use the logos and the FE name and wear stuff on your clothing, just know that the mainstream media one day soon could paint flat earthers out to be child predators, and they're going to show clips of this flat earth children's show where they take Muppets and puppets. They're even stealing the Sesame Street puppets and having them talk about flat earth. So if you go to Mark Sargent's channel, you're going to find a children's video where they have Elmo and Cookie Monster saying, "Did you know that Earth is shaped like a cookie? Earth is shaped like a cookie."
Elmo doesn't know that Earth is shaped like a cookie.
Yes, Earth is like a cookie, and there is frosting around the cookie to keep the water from falling off of the Earth cookie. So right now you have them targeting children, and you also have the possibility of the mainstream media taking that and running with it. And of course, that can all be by design. So this content that they're creating for children might not just be to entice children to get into flat Earth. It might be done specifically so that mainstream media can paint flat earthers out to be child predators. Yeah, just letting you know that's what's happening. And so I'm not trying to divide the community. I'm just letting you guys know Mark Sargent is doing a very, very creepy Flat Earth Kids show. And he also has the comments turned off. He doesn't want to hear from anyone in the comments. FPV Angel says it's for the government to have something to retaliate against by design. They're destroying Flat Earth from within. Hey, I think that's a pretty reasonable comment. I think that that's probably closer to the truth than it is false. So I would say that it's a government black ops project, which is scary. So if the government is putting money into creating flat Earth kids content, that's pretty scary. And if I'm here talking about it and exposing it to you guys, well, that's also pretty scary. So it's looking like there's a black ops project being run by the government where they have people like Mark Sargent, who's an actor, pretending to be a flat earther. They have him promoting a children's show. Now, here's the deal: the children's show is highly well produced. It's not Mark Sargent just doing all the voices or anything. It's like a team of people doing all the voices, and they're also doing songs, like flat Earth songs for children. So I'm actually going to do a video on it in the future, probably over on the Asshole channel, and I'm going to expose it. But right now, you have several different content creators in the flat Earth cult community who are pushing the AE map, and they're also creating children's content, and it's not fun looking. It's pretty creepy. Um, yeah. Uh, Javid said with another donation says, "I see you on BitChute. Why not Rockfin?" I just haven't went over there and really looked at it, to tell you the truth. I'm busy enough as it is with YouTube, and I put my stuff over on BitChute just to have an extra platform. But to tell you the truth, the day just flies by so fast. I There's so many things I want to do and haven't done yet. I want to get better at running streams, so I keep telling myself I'm going to like learn how to do the OBS and learn how to do that so I can properly run a stream without it just being me talking to the camera. And so there's plenty of things I'm being lazy on, and so maybe eventually I'll head over there to Rockfin and take a look at it. The one thing I don't like about Rockfin is that so far I've seen shills over there like Jaren and ODD, David Weiss. So I see a bunch of shills hanging out over there. So that's the only thing that scares me about Rockfin so far. But I might go check it out. And FPV Angel here in the chat, I know he does a lot of work with his Mercator style map, a rectangle map, and they're getting a lot of what he says are shills showing up and stealing their work and repackaging it. And so that's a whole nother thing that they do is they steal other people's ideas and then they repackage it as the and run with it as their own idea. And so your intellectual property, like your ideas and your content, it can easily be stolen by these thieves. A guy like Bob Nodell from Globebusters, he'll take a channel that you don't even know is run by him and steal some info, repackage it, and act as if they came up with that idea. And so you got a lot of thievery going on as far as information goes. Um, and you also have a lot of disinformation. And so it can be quite a task for you, the watcher, just to sift through the bullshit, figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. So if you happen to have fallen for one of these guys, uh, their bullshit, fallen for their misinformation, don't feel too bad because I have as well. I used to be friends with Jaron. I used to listen to Globebusters. I used to watch Eric Dubay. I used to be one of the big top guys in the flat Earth cult community. I was one of the most popular people in the cult without even knowing it was a cult. So I was actually a giant cult leader without knowing I was a cult leader. I thought I was a truther in a community of truthers, and little did I know that I had been pitched a false model, false map by some snake oil salesmen and some shills. And then by the time I figured it out and started telling people, then I had people turning on me and subs unsubbing from me, calling me the bad guy. And so it's been many years and an uphill battle trying to get the truth out there. And I'm still fighting that uphill battle to this day. Ugh. All right. Got our first mention of Richie from Boston. But I got to tell you, Richie from Boston is a premium impression. So if you guys are going to want to hear me do a little bit of Richie from Boston, you might have to entice me by smashing the thumbs up. So a little Richie from Boston could be coming your way, but I'm going to need to see 120 thumbs up. If I don't see 120 thumbs up, I'm just going to save the Richie from Boston impression for another day. Javid with another donation says Rockfin is better than BitChute, better search engine, better way to tip you. I know YouTube censor you and take 30% from your tips. Rockfin doesn't. Hey, I'll look into it. Hey, there's a lot of things I could do that I just don't. It comes down to time and energy, and there's only so many hours in the day. For instance, I don't do a Patreon. So all the shills run a Patreon and have hundreds of Patreons. I don't even run a Patreon. Uh, when I did run a Patreon, I didn't have that many and I didn't keep up with it. So I actually felt guilty when I was running it because I wasn't keeping up with it that often. And so I right now don't even have a Patreon. And so I could be doing a lot more things if I wanted to milk this whole online career deal. But there's only so much time in a day. And so eventually I'll probably go over there and take a look at Rockfin. Eventually I might do something with Patreon. I was thinking for Patreon doing like a super secret comedy show, and it's $5, and the only way to see it is through Patreon, and you got to join for $5, and then you get to see my super secret comedy show. It's 100% like uncensored, and I'm gonna say something that's just like completely out of bounds and totally not allowed anywhere else. So I don't know. I was thinking of doing something like that, of doing like a secret comedy show only available through Patreon or something, but I haven't done it yet. So that's something I might do in the future. All right. But right now I just enjoy, making a video every other day or so, and I also have my parody channel that's actually starting to take off, where I make fun of Spirage, Svedia, Gatis. And so right now I'm just having fun being a content creator and not trying to not trying to go overboard and post, on every single little site everywhere. Just there's only so much time in a day, so I pretty much just post a video over here, post a video on BitChute, and then try it and enjoy a little bit of the sunshine. And before I know it, the day's over. All right, so Richie from Boston impression. All right, it's getting serious. Something big is coming our way. The Space Needle might actually be a giant vaccine. The Space Needle might actually be full of you know what. That's right. And
giant Chinese drones might pick up the Space Needle and drop it on the nation simultaneously, injecting us all with the giant Space Needle. I've seen crazier things, people. I saw with my own two eyes a direct energy laser beam shoot a squirrel out of the tree from near my house. I saw the finger of God laser beam weapon come down from the heavens and shoot this little chipmunk from outside the fence out near my yard. He had a walnut in his hand, and he the little poor guy, he had smoke coming out of his ears. The walnut was roasted. He had walnuts roasted on an open fire. I am not kidding, people. If you don't get right with God, you, if you don't get right with God, soon the Chinese drones are gonna find you, and they're gonna shoot poison demon arrows in your asshole. You better repent now. Find God now. But I digress. So like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.
All right. I see a lot of laughing emojis. That's how I know I did my job correctly. I'm thinking of starting a Richie from Boston parody channel. I actually run a parody channel where I make fun of Spherage Svetia Gotis. I make fun of him, and the parody channel's coming along well. So I'm thinking of starting a parody channel for Richie from Boston and just doing like a daily parody video where I just pretend to be Richie. I might do it. It'll be like an extra channel. I have all these ideas, and I want to like. It's like I want to like do all these ideas, but there's only so much time in the day. And so there's this part of me that wants to start a Richie from Boston parody channel, but then I know that that's just going to lead to me pretending to be Richie from Boston more than I already do. And it's like, oh, do I really want to dedicate my life to pretending to be another dude? I'm already pretending to be Spherage Gatis way more often than I probably should. All right, I had a donation come in from Johanna or Jonna, not Johanna, it's Jonna X. Jonna X says, could you sing a song of your choice? Well, since you are supplying the sweet super chat cheddar, Jonna X, I will sing a song of my choice. Maybe I'll even sing two.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. When I see you hanging around with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry. Oh, I wanna die. It's not unusual to go out at any time. But when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. You should ever want to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual, it happens every day. No matter what you say, you'll find it happens all the time. Love will never do what you want it to. Why can't this crazy love be mine? Whoa.
It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Not unusual to be sad with anyone. Ba-na-na-na. But if I've ever found that you've changed at any time, well, it's not unusual to find out I'm in love with you. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. And of course, the Carlton dance, made famous by Carlton, who would dance to that song during Fresh Prince. Speaking of Fresh Prince, in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good. They started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, "Come over with your auntie and uncle in Ballet." I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plates are fresher than the dice in the mirror. If anything, I can say that this cab was where I thought, man, forget it. Your home's the Ballet. Bum, 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 bum. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, "Your home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Ballet. Ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, doom, boom. All right. You guys remember that one? There you go, John X. You got a little bit of Not Unusual, of course, by Tom Jones. And then you got a little Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. All right. Hey, you guys want to hear my beatboxing? I've been working on my beatboxing. I've been practicing my beatboxing. It goes like this. It goes. Wicked. I'm sorry. The number you have called has been disconnected. See? I think I'm getting pretty good at beatboxing. Thank you. I'm going to try out for the next beatbox championship. Javid with a donation says, "You like the 8 Mile movie?" No, I think that movie sucks. I like Eminem before he got replaced. by fake Eminem. But yeah, that movie sucked. But thank you for your donation. All right. So yeah, I'm actually practicing for the beatbox championship. That's what I plan on doing. I hope to win the title. Hope to bring the title home. Caesar Beltran says you need voice box, Jake, like Roger Troutman. I don't need that. I got it all right here. All right here, bro. Watch this. Let me tell you something, people. Let me tell you what's happening right now. Are you about to party with Roger Troutman now? So rough, so tough out here, baby. So rough. Ooh, let me tell you, people. Let me tell you now. Let me tell you, people. They sure love playing rough. Ooh-wee. You guys remember old Zapp and Roger tunes? That's who he's talking about, Roger Troutman. He had the talk box, of course, so he had that cool, funky voice. More bounce to the ounce. More bounce to the ounce. Get on the dance floor, baby. No doubt, mama. Oh yeah. Get on the dance floor. I ain't never seen no sexy thing like you, baby. Ooh-wee, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Shake it, mama. More bounce to the ounce. All right, I'm getting carried away. That's what'll happen if you ask me about Roger Troutman or you mention Roger Troutman. I will just start singing. Javid says, I found you on David Weiss app, ironically. No, you didn't. I'm not on that app. So you can't find me on that app. I never downloaded that app, so I don't know what you mean by that, bro. That's a shill app, so I definitely never downloaded it. Chuck Peter says you're a great acapella artist. Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I got good at singing songs really just by hearing lots of stuff on the radio and MTV when I was a kid. Back when MTV played music videos, I thought that the rock and roll videos were cool. And then watching Beavis and Butthead, I liked watching them make fun of videos. You know, oh, this is cool and this sucks. Yeah, these guys suck. And so I learned what was cool and what sucked by having Beavis and Butthead tell me, you know, who was cool and who sucked. And so I got into music when I was young, and I actually at one point when I was a teenager, like knew that I wanted to be a rock star. Like I knew I wanted to be a rock and roller, and it was like I got older and I was forced to pick a job, but in the back of my mind, I knew like I wanted to be a rock and roller. So I started going in this direction, going to college to be in a job field that wasn't right for me, something that I truly didn't love and enjoy. And in the back of my mind, I knew I wanted to be a rock and roller and a performer. And I also loved comedy as a kid. And so I always wanted to play rock and roll and make people laugh.
and I never knew that that was going to become my like actual like life, and that I would actually be able to do it professionally. But it was in the back of my head that that was something I wanted to do. I just didn't know if it was really possible, and I thought you had to go through Hollywood to get there, you know, and you had to get lucky. But I actually have had my mild level of success here on YouTube and had a lot of fun doing this. And I've also had success, mild level of success singing and performing on the bar and club circuit as well as in nursing homes. And so there's a whole lot of people out there who've never been paid to do a gig. And I'm definitely a person who's played 1,000 or more shows and of all different kinds, and so I have a lot of experience under my belt, and so I draw upon a plethora of experience. So when I go back to sing a song, it's a song that I've probably heard 1,000 times or performed a shitload of times, and so I'm very comfortable on a microphone, and I know a bunch of songs from a bunch of different eras, and I draw upon all that experience. And I'm very comfortable on stage, comfortable performing, comfortable talking to the camera. And so it just comes very, very natural. And I like to, I actually try hard to put on a show when I am putting on a show, so that people enjoy it and come away happy with what they've seen and heard. And so other performers now, they like to mail it in. They don't really give a shit. I'm the opposite. Like if I have 10, 15 people watching me at a nursing home, I'm going for it. Blood, sweat, and tears, just like singing my ass off. So I don't treat a small show as insignificant, for instance. Says your video laughing at Micktoon versus Red Pill philosophy debate is on the app. Well, I didn't put it up there. So if he's somehow putting my videos or my image or whatever on his app, he's doing it without my permission. So I didn't put anything of mine on that app whatsoever. This is the first I've heard about it. I'm surprised he would include me at all because uh, they're supposedly against me. You know, I call them out for being shills, so I'm surprised that they would say anything about me or have anything about me on the app. So that's the first I've heard about it. Interesting. PJC Net says Beavis and Butthead were funny back in the day. Yeah, they were. They were funny. I hear they're going to try and bring them back, but you know they're going to ruin it. Settle down, Beavis.
Yeah, it's like we're never gonna get laid. It's like I just want to see some chicks' boobs. And it's like I never get to see them, and it sucks. I just want to see some chicks' boobs.
That's actually how I feel nowadays. It's like
Uh, it's like before the boogeyman disease came along. Yeah, it's like I used to hang out with chicks. Now no chicks want to hang out. 'Cause they're afraid they're gonna die.
Beavis, you dumbass. No chicks would want to hang out with you anyway.
Hey, oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Oofmatic says I think they did bring him back. No, I think they're supposed to bring him back again for like a new movie or another relaunch. I've heard that they're either going to do another relaunch or a new movie, possibly both. You know how it goes. They got to bring back everything that was once cool. Everything that was once cool, they have to bring it back and totally shit on it. All right. So let me go ahead and perform. Let me go ahead and perform one of my
older jokes that I did on a stream a few weeks ago. Some of you guys may have heard this joke already. Some of you guys haven't heard it yet. But it goes like this. It goes, white pride, white power, but black people are also awesome. White power, white is the best, except for Mexicans, they're even better. Man, I love being white so much. It's my favorite thing in the world, but not as much as I wish I was a Puerto Rican.
I wish I was a stinky Puerto Rican, because regular Puerto Ricans aren't as awesome as stinky ones. I wish I was a nasty, stinky, ugly ass Puerto Rican, because they're cooler than white people. Sometimes. Man, I have so much white pride that it gives me white power. I love being white because it's the best color to be. Unless I was born black, then I would probably think that that's the best. But I'm not, I'm born white. But if you kill me right now, perhaps I'll come back as a black person and I'll enjoy that even more. Is this racist? Does that count as being racist? Does it count if is it racist if I say white power, but I love Mexicans? White pride, but I love all my black homies. I want to start a club where only white people are allowed. But it's only because Asians are so much smarter and better than us that I feel bad and I need some white people to make me feel better. Asians are so much better and smarter and they have such big penises. I want to start my own club for white guys only, so that we can bitch about how much that we're mad that we don't have big penises like the Asians. Do you guys want to be in a club with me and only white people are allowed? And all we're going to talk about is how mad we are that we don't have big, huge Asian penises. Is that racist? Is it racist to have a club that only white people are allowed in, and then the only thing that you talk about is how big Asian penises are and how much you wish you were an Asian man who had a big, giant penis? I mean, is that racist? I mean, how many other people are going to want to join that club from other walks of life outside of white guys? Really? I mean, come on, let's be honest. The thing about this joke is I add on to it each time I tell it, so it never comes out the same. So you guys approve of that comedy? So that's my totally not racist joke. Oh look, Foamfoot's in the chat. She says, "Hi, Jake." And then she says, "What happened to my wrench?" Foamfoot, you can have your wrench back when you give me a call and prove that you're you. Prove that you're you. You're that girl in the picture, and I'll give you your wrench back. Here's the thing: I've been infiltrated one too many times, been tricked one too many times, and so you've never once proved that you are the girl in the picture. And so, since you've never proved that you're the girl in the picture after all this time, and it would be really easy for you to do that. So all you got to do, give me a call, let me know that you're the girl in the picture, and you'll get your wrench. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah,
bum, 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 bum. 1-800-JABS for kids. 1-800-JABS for kids. 1-800-JABS for kids. They're gonna jab your kid today. 1-800-JAB for kids. 1-800-JABS for kids. JABS, jabs for kids. We're gonna jab some kids today. Ouch! There's a creepy song for you. All right. So, you hear about the new mandates? Yeah. Your kid can't go to school now unless they've been poked. Your kid can't go to public school unless they get poked. You got to get poked if you want to go to public school. Now, my parents, they definitely weren't going to do any homeschooling. They just sent me right off to public school. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably went to public school. I went to public school. A lot of you probably did. Back in the day, it was considered weird to be homeschooled. You were a weirdo kid if you stayed home and you were homeschooled. Whereas now it's like, holy shit, you better keep your kid home and safe. Send them off to a crazy prison where they're going to jab and stab your kid and then teach them about dinosaurs and fake space. Yeah. Seems like a pretty dangerous place to send your kid. You're going to send your kid to a prison center where they want to jab them, stab them, teach them that we came from monkeys and that dinosaurs existed and that there are people floating around in the International Space Station. That's what they're going to teach your kid at school. And so I look at homeschooling now in a whole different way than I used to. I used to look at homeschooling for weirdo kids and weirdo families. And now it's like, that's the only way if you want to keep your kids safe. Now you're a weirdo if you send your kid to public school. You know, some people say, Jake, you turned out crazy, man. You've lost it. You've gone crazy. And you know what it was? Is because my mom and dad sent me to public school. That's what happened. Maybe if they would have kept me home and taught me the truth, I wouldn't have turned out so crazy. Shit. Yes, Foamfoot, that's my email. A PJCnet, I'll turn this off. PJCnet says people need to comply. Enough people keep their kids away that they will have to U-turn it. That's the thing is just too many people willingly go along. Not enough people standing up against the tyranny. We need people, excuse me. We need people standing up and pushing back. And that's not what we're getting. We're getting complete compliance. It seems whatever Big Daddy government says, that's what the people do. And there's a whole lot of lefty liberals who like Big Daddy government telling them what to do. I mean, there's people right now who are multiplying. As far as these people sitting in their car alone, wearing their muzzles, these people are multiplying. I'm seeing it more and more. I'm not seeing less and less of it. So it's definitely not going away. And so I see the zombies multiplying. And we're going to get to a point where there's just going to be too damn many zombies for us to overcome.
and it almost looks like the writing's on the wall sometimes. And I'm stuck wondering, is there anything even worth fighting for, or should I just put my hands back and enjoy the final days of the shit show? So my inner turmoil comes from like, okay, I can make videos for you guys and tell you guys what I think is the truth just to try and get it out there, make myself feel better. But if I can't stop the NWO from taking over and you can't stop it, and we collectively as a people can't stop it, at what point do you just sit back and go, fine, take it over, burn it down? Who cares? So it's almost like you have to accept your own fate, that you can't stop this. You can't stop them from doing what they're going to do. They're going to do their plan, and their plan seems to work each time pretty much. Whenever they have a big event plan, they pull it off and the sheep will believe it. And what can you do? I mean, if I do or say anything, I'm labeled conspiracy nut. Hell, I'm already labeled conspiracy nut. If I go back to my hometown, I'm that flat earth guy, right? I'm still to this day that flat earth guy. If I go back to my hometown and walk around, if anybody I know that sees me from my hometown spots me, they're like, there's that flat earth guy. It's like, and I know that they think like that they think that I believe in like a pancake floating in space. And so it's tough to even try and wake up anybody or in my hometown or in my family when in their mind they think I'm a guy who believes in a pancake floating in outer space. So just trying to wake people up, man, it can be like pulling teeth. And I have to ask myself, like, dude, should you even try? Should you even continue to try? Maybe you should just give up and let the whole world just turn to shit, because that's what's going to happen either way. Like, why even try to fight it? And so at this point, I fight it just to make myself feel better. I'd make these videos and say what I need to say as my own little way of fighting back. But is it stopping them? Is it going to stop the New World Order? No. My videos, no. So I've heard from people, even here in the chat and in the comments, that say, Jake, don't worry about it, man. Just sit back and enjoy the shit show. And there's a part of me that wants to just sit back and enjoy the shit show. But then there's that eternal warrior like, no, I got to go down swinging. I got to keep swinging at the bad guys. They'll never take me. PJC Net says, don't give up. The UK U-turned mandatory jabs for healthcare workers because too many refused, even when they stood to lose their jobs. Oh, you can get them to back up in the moment for the time being, but their plan, it's a generational plan. If they don't get you this year, they'll get you the next year, the next year after. It's just look at the way they pulled off all the things that they've pulled off in the past and how they got away with it, and most all the sheeple have bought into it. I mean, their plan and the way they execute it, you got to give them credit, man. They're on the same page with each other. So the evil elites, they get together, talk to each other, actually come up with plans, and then attempt shit. We, the people, we don't get together and form plans. They've got us divided. So we, the people, this is about as close as we get to getting together. This little, these little groups. But no, what we need is a million people coming together under the same cause, fighting for something. But trying to get a million people to come together and mobilize and all do the same thing and follow the same plan, yeah, that's going to be damn near impossible. Uh, SLH says reality sucks. Yeah, sometimes it does. There's things about this life that are beautiful and that I absolutely love. And then there's things about this life that it's like, why? Why the hell did I get put here? What is the point of this? I actually struggle with that quite often. Um, I struggle with like my spot here in this world and why um, a man of my talents, a man of my passion, a man of my intensity, just walking around and living in this body and experiencing this world on a daily basis. I can assure you guys that I go through all uh, of the human emotions in even a single day. I can go from being happy to being pissed off. If like I see the wrong person say or do something, I can literally my attitude get changed and become like an angry, irritable person. And then my attitude can be flipped back to being good again. Uh, Something I can think about a thought and have it make me cry and become sad, and then I can get over it and go back to being happy all in the same day. So I know what it's like in the same day to love my life and hate my life all at once. I know what it's like to love this world and think it's beautiful, and in the same day think that this world's shitty and it's all going to hell. And so I can go outside right now and I can show you guys what the nastiest homeless epicenters look like. And it's a bad sight and it'll make you feel bad. Or I could head over to the beach and go to a nice neighborhood and walk around and look at some awesome trees while I'm on a little bit of psilocybin and think that the world is absolutely beautiful and wonderful. And I'm so happy to be alive. And so it's a constant changing of feelings going on in my body to where even just trying to figure out what I want to do for the day, like what should I do with myself today? Should I make a video, and if so, about what? Should I take a day off, get away from the electronics and go hang out in nature? And if I'm going to do that, then where am I going to go? And then when I get there, is it going to be as good as I want it to be? And then once you go do the thing you think you want to do and then that's over, then what do you do? And so if I feel like going to the ocean and eating mushrooms right next to the ocean and listen to my favorite music so I can have a kumbaya moment, and then I do that and time gets old, well then what do I do the next time I want to have a kumbaya moment? Now I got to go find a different place and something that's even better than that next kumbaya moment. And so then I trying to one up my kumbaya moments. Well, how am I going to have a better time than I did that last time? Am I going to have to eat more drugs? Got Chris Diamede, Diamede with a donation, and he says, "Lore." Yes, that is something that we say over on my Spherage Goatese parody channel. We say lore, 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 because we like to mock the death metal music. So if anyone is confused by his donation and him saying lore, I have a parody channel where I make fun of Goatese Spherage, and Goatese Spherage likes this terrible death metal music, and it pretty much sounds like this. Lore, 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 lore. It sounds like that. And so when I make fun of his videos, I sing like that. And so that guy is giving me money and saying lore because he watches my Spherage videos. Just in case anyone's confused. All right, and Jonna X with a $20 donation says for Rusty. You're giving Rusty $20? I'm gonna have to spend it on some food because he doesn't know what to do with money. If I give Rusty cash, he'll totally just leave it on the ground. He won't even spend it properly. So I pretty much have to spend the cash for him. Buy him some meat. But thank you for the donation for Rusty. I appreciate that, you guys. Appreciate the donations. Jonna X, you're awesome. Whenever you donate, you don't like say weird shit or like try and bring the stream down. Like your first donation earlier, you asked me to sing a song, and then you let me pick the song. And then this one, just for Rusty, I like that. I appreciate that. That you're not like trying to like take the stream into some crazy weird place or throw me off topic. Evergreen says, "What is the parody channel name?" I'll type it in the chat right now. Okay, it's called Spherage Gotus Gatis, and I just put it in the chat right there. And spherage is spelled with a 3. Yes, that's how it works. So there's a guy named Spherage, or Spedia, depending on how you like to pronounce it. And he also has a second channel where he calls himself Gotus, or Gatis, depending on how you like to pronounce it. And his actual name is Gatis. So I call my parody channel Spherage Gotus Gatis. And I make fun of him. And there's like this entire community, an entire fan base that I started over on that channel that's different from this one. It's like different people follow me on that channel, so it's kind of fun. I have this new fan base that watches specifically for me to make fun of this one dude who they don't like. Chuck Peters says, "So do you like Spherage still?" No, I think he's a liar and a scammer and an e-beggar and a shill basically at this point. So no, I don't like him, and that's why I started the parody channel, is so I could make fun of him. And there's an entire community of people who enjoy me making fun of him, and it's growing by the day. And so there's this voice that he has, and he has this really thick accent. So I've been making fun of his voice and making these parody videos. And he basically sounds like this. He's like, "Hey, yo, what's up, guys? Luna, she steal my baby and she make me feel very unhappy. So if you guys would send me your fucking money, then it would help me to see my son. And then if I see my son, it will make me happy. And so if you could please send me your fucking money to make me feel better, then I can get my child back from the demon. The demon, she steal my baby, and everybody know if you want to be one with nature, then you need to drink the baby's blood. But if you cook the baby, then you will destroy the baby's nutrients. So therefore, it is not natural for you to cook baby. So therefore, I like to drink raw baby's blood in order to feel one with nature." So basically, that's the voice that I do, and people get a kick out of that. If for those that follow the guy's channel and then they find out he's an e-beggar and scammer, they get makes fun of him for being an e-beggar and a scammer, and I make his voice. So whenever he puts out a new video, I basically just mock that video. And it's become this new thing that I do. And that channel's actually starting to pick up subs by the day, and it actually gets thousands of views. It's quite ridiculous. Lucas D. Broke says, "Please, I'm really concerned. I've heard no one talk about the Kabooter plop syndrome caused by the VAXX, and I'm really interested in your opinion on this." Well, I have no opinion on that because I haven't looked into it. So, as much as you're into it, you probably know more than me because I can't even pronounce what you Kabooter plop? KABOUTER plop syndrome. I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of that. Never heard anyone say that or never seen anyone type those words ever. You're the first person I've heard mention that. So sorry, bro, I don't know about it. Jeffrey Dahmer, 1973 says, "Hey, bro, crazy how they are completely covering the sun. Yeah, some days they just chemtrail it out. Just classic chemtrail in front of the sun. In fact, just yesterday, it was one of those sunsets here in California where, like, all day long, it was nice and clear and sunny. And then right at sunset, they put a big line in front of the sun, and then the big line grew. And it was one of those, like, one giant line right in front of the sun, like clear skies everywhere. They didn't like spend the whole day spraying, but right at the end of the day, as the sun was going down, they put one big giant fat line right in front of it. It's like, okay, the mainstream science explanation is that those are ice crystals. It's like, yeah, and they just happen to do it right in front of the sun as it was starting to set. Sure. Josh Romaine says, I got 14 grams of mushrooms. Do I take them all or some? I would never do 14 grams at once. That's too much, in my opinion. Other people have told me stories of doing that. And a lot of them say that they had a good time, but I personally think that that's too much. And so the most I'll eat at once is an eighth. And you're talking about eating a half ounce. That's too much. I personally wouldn't do that. You'll be out of your mind for like 3 days, maybe a week straight, I would figure. And somebody, could have you thrown in the loony bin. Who knows? But I would just eat some. See, the thing is, you can eat some, and then if you want, eat more. But once you eat a whole half ounce, then there's pretty much no turning back. I mean, you can attempt to throw them up, but if you eat that many, you're stuck with whatever the result is. So you might decide you don't like it, but too late. So if you have 14 grams, why not just eat like 2 grams? Start with 2 grams and then decide from there. Because I've had trips where I eat 2 grams and I'm like, whoa, this is powerful. I don't need to eat any more. And so even just 2 grams, if you're eating quality psilocybin, or there's other strains that are even more potent. If you're eating quality product, a few grams it goes a long way. It's a powerful psychedelic substance. You got to remember, and so it's something that you should uh, take with care and proceed with caution. You can always, just eat a little bit, and then if you feel good, you want to go a little more, you can eat a little more. Jeffrey Dahmer, 1973, with another donation. Thank you. Miss Anthropic Freebeat says, "Eat 'em all!" Ha ha ha. Yeah, if Miss Anthropic Freebeat says eat 'em all, then just go ahead and eat the whole half ounce. I mean, that girl says so. Faith says, "Can we do more teaching information delivery vids like you used to? I miss them." Well, like what, for instance, Faith? I did on the asshole channel. I did an elephant's petrified video. So I have a video about elephants turning the stone over on the asshole channel that I just released yesterday, and I do lots of different videos over on the asshole channel. Over here, I do mostly like live streams and just some kind of like random content. But over on the asshole channel, I cover lots of different stuff. So it just depends what you mean by teaching vids. Dustin Thomas M says, "Does orange enhance the shrooms?" I don't know for sure. I've heard that um, vitamin C enhances it, but I swear, like I've been tripping and drank orange juice, and I didn't feel like any like extra trippiness. But then again, if you eat some mushrooms and then you're tripping, and then you tell yourself you're going to trip more if you drink orange juice, you might be able to convince yourself that you are tripping more. And so who knows? Maybe it's all in your head, or maybe there is some bit of extra intensity from the vitamin C. I don't know. I have had trips where I didn't have any orange juice at all, where I tripped my balls off. So it's not like it's necessary. So I don't know if it really does or not. Jeffrey Dahmer, 1973, says Bitcoin is going to crash soon. Oh, you never know. People say that about the stock market too. You never know. It's all highly manipulated. That's why I'm not completely all in on the stock market. I'm not completely all in on the crypto game. I'm not completely all in with cash. So I spread my money around. I got a little here, a little there. And that way, if something like crypto crashes, well, and I still got some cash stowed away. You know, still got some old baseball cards stowed away. Still got some gold stowed away. And if old baseball cards crash and nobody wants them, well, then maybe crypto maybe will go up. Who knows? Who knows? And all that shit, it's all manipulated. And so I don't know. I couldn't tell you the best thing to hold on to. If you really think about it, it's all worthless if everything goes to shit. Because like, what are you gonna do with gold if a bunch of zombies are at your door trying to kill you and burn your house down? At that point, it's just a rock. Like, what are you gonna do with a big giant gold nugget if your house is surrounded by jabbed, quadruple boosted zombies who are trying to burn your house down and eat your brain? What are you gonna do with your gold nugget then? Then it's just gonna be a worthless rock in your hand. Kind of like cash. What are you gonna do with your cash if the dollar crashes and it's worth nothing? Then it's glorified toilet paper. So when I hear somebody saying, "Oh, yeah, crypto's a big scam, it's going to crash," it's like, yeah, but the dollar could crash and become toilet paper. Then the only thing worth money is food and ammunition, right? Then that's what's going to be traded mostly. And so the food crisis, you should expect that to come sooner than later. I'm thinking a big food crisis is on the way. Supermarkets getting wiped out across the world. Lucas DeBroke says, I have done some research. Kabouter plop syndrome is very serious. It's named after a popular Dutch TV character due to his weird body shape. This syndrome refers to body mutations caused by the VAXX. I actually have a video coming out soon about a girl um, in a news clip who is said to be VAXX, and she's had complications from the VAXX, and she's going to have her legs amputated. But also in the same video is what appears to be some acting where the mother of the girl who's going to lose her legs is smiling with duper's delight, making me think the whole thing's made up. So I have a video coming out probably tomorrow. I'll probably put it out on the A-hole channel of a crisis actor talking about her daughter losing her legs, and she's like, "Oh, she already told me she's gonna get bionic legs," and she like starts smiling, "Bionic legs!" And so they have a ton of crisis actors assigned to this thing. I notice, and they're pushing the narrative quite hard, especially here on YouTube. I see just a plethora of VAXX videos. I mean, there is no stop of VAXX videos. Every single day, every major news outlet puts out some sort of propaganda piece about the jab. And it's, one day it's about uh, the children, mandates for schools. The next day, it's about mandates for healthcare workers. The next day, it's about needing to get the fifth booster for the elderly, and so they just are ramping it up, and they don't show any signs of stopping, at least here in America. And I'm even seeing the traffic signs, like the traffic light where they have the light bulbs overhead. I don't know if they have them where you guys live, but they have these signs where they can put any message up there in light bulbs, and they're putting like "Get your booster" up on the traffic signs now. So now when you're driving down the road, you see propaganda being advertised on these signs now. And so it's not only coming on through radio PSAs, television PSAs, YouTube videos. It's like they even have our own tax dollars working against us. They're putting it on the road signs. And I'm seeing what looks to be more and more people in their cars, muzzled up. I'm seeing more and more muzzled people. So it seems to be a growing problem. Doesn't seem to be getting any better. At least that's what I'm seeing. But then what can you do? What can we really do? And what's the breaking point where I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go live in the forest and be a woodsy man? Or do you just end it all? It's a scary thought to think about ending your own life, but when push comes to shove, like how much can you put up with? How much evil BS can you put up with before you're like, okay, I'm just gonna get in my car and drive into the Grand Canyon, Thelma and Louise style? I was wondering if I was gonna take my own life, I wouldn't just like do it in some lame way, like hanging yourself in the closet or something. I think it would be cooler if you were gonna take your own life to like, you know, take a big, huge rip of DMT as you're driving your car into the Grand Canyon, you know? That way you can't even tell uh, that you're about to die. It's like you'll just like hallucinate your way out. So if I was going to take my own life, I think it would be cool to like take a huge rip of DMT before you you die, so that way you can enter another dimension uh, and then die and then re-enter that dimension possibly. I don't know. I hear when you die naturally that you get a giant rush of DMT and that it takes you out of this realm and into your afterlife. That's what I hear happens. That your own bodily made DMT, when you die, it's released, and that final trip is what takes you from this realm. So my question then is, what if you take a big giant rip of DMT and then commit suicide as you're high on DMT? Then do you get a double extra triple dose? Does that take you to the mega afterlife? Abiyaz says nothing cool about taking your own life, Jake. Oh, I never said it was cool. But the thing is, imagine the government locking you down and force jabbing you. Wouldn't you rather take your own at that point? Let's just say you don't get to go to heaven and you don't get to be accepted into the pearly gates of heaven, and God is going to judge you, and He's going to be like, "Oh, you submitted to the jab just so you could stay alive and die of old age in a hospital? Uh, 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 you weren't supposed to do that." See, so I don't think trying to stay alive as long as possible and complying with the jab and complying with mandates just so you can die old in a hospital seems like such an awesome way out. Because I look at some of the people who didn't take their life, uh, and how they got really old and decrepit and died with tubes all in their mouth and shit in a hospital. It's not that awesome looking. It doesn't seem like that cool of a way to go out. So, dying of natural causes ain't such a cool thing neither. So then you have to ask yourself, well, what if you go out fighting? So rather than take your own life, you go out fighting, which causes someone else to take your life. But then again, it's like, suicide by cops, right? So if you supposedly want to go out and fight the evil, well, how are you going to do that? Are you going to like, for instance, what are you going to do? Like drive over to the Rothschild's mansion and like try and kill him? What are you going to do? And even if you did that, like that still wouldn't even stop the bad guys. So just trying to think about what you personally can do to stop the madness, to stop the bad guys. Uh, it can leave you feeling pretty depressed because you should come to the conclusion that you can't do shit. When you come to the conclusion that you can't do shit to stop the bad guys, it can leave you feeling a little depressed. So then you got to go enjoy your life somehow, knowing that the bad guys are going to win in the end. Tough to go enjoy your life and go enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the birds chirping, enjoy a dog walk, uh, when you're thinking about the bad guys winning the final battle. Your life coming to an end, uh, in an evil manner due to evil people. The darkness closing in on you. So as the darkness closes in on me, I try to go out and enjoy this world and still find the beauty in it while I can. And I'm finding that the only way I can access that beauty in the world and enjoy it is through the help of some substances. So sometimes we got to look for some substances. What? Look at that. What the fuck? What? To help us find the way. Help us enjoy this shit show. JRB says, I think you went against the bad guys by not selling your soul, and when you leave here, you're rewarded by not having to come back. Just a theory of mine. Hey, possibly. Uh, I personally have not sold my soul. As far as like Hollywood is concerned, there's a lot of celebrities who have sold their soul, and they even talk about it. They write music lyrics about it, and many celebrities are open about it. That the devil basically comes to you, and he might come to you in the form of a high level businessman. Uh, but basically, the devil comes to you and offers you a deal where you get to become rich and powerful and whatnot, and your dreams come true. But in that deal, you sign over your soul, and they own the rights to you and your body at that point. And if you don't go along with their evil plan, you have sold the rights of your body to these evil men, and they are allowed to disembowel you. They are allowed to kill you because you sold your soul over. Whereas somebody like me, they can't just come along and kill me, I don't think, because I own my soul. I am a man of God, and I have the shield of God protecting me. And because my soul is mine, uh, and it's not for sale, well, then that means I get to do and say whatever I want, and I have my own super talents, superpowers, if you will, my own unique ability to create music and create comedy, create videos that make you think and feel. I'm blessed with this ability um, because I am a divine creation of God. So once I come to the realization of all these things, become one with who I am and my existence, then that leaves me wondering, like, okay, so what in the hell am I supposed to do here in this flesh bag? Am I just supposed to like make as many people laugh and wake as many people up as I can and be the best person I can be while I'm here in this flesh bag until the government kills me? Is that what it's meant to be? So even I have trouble trying to make sense out of it, like why I'm here and what's the purpose of all this. And I'm a person who's actually made a lot of sense out of it in my own head, but even I'm still confused with my ultimate purpose and in the reason why I'm here and why all this is happening. So I'm still confused on a daily basis by my own life, and at the same time, I feel like I have it figured out more so than a lot of other people. So I'm openly confused about my life and my existence, and at the same time, I feel like I have it figured out more so than your common man, more so than most people. Meanwhile, those people think that they have shit figured out more than me, which is extra confusing. Let's see. Someone asked if Humma One says, Jake, could you please make a video about Kabouter disease? I would like to see your expert opinion on it. All right, well, if another person's bringing it up, maybe I'll look into it. This literally today's stream is the first I have heard of Kabouter plot syndrome disease. I have never heard of any of that before. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'm going to write it down too, just so I don't forget. All right. Write it down right now because that's a weird name and I'll totally forget that. Kabouter. See, I still write things down on paper too, old school style. Because I notice I don't really keep lists in my phone as well. So it's like if I want to like keep a list for myself of stuff I want to do over the week or over the day or just what I want to talk about over the course of a stream, I've been writing it down on a old school piece of paper, just regular marker paper. So this like old school way of keeping myself organized, keeping my thoughts organized has helped because I wouldn't make lists on my phone, and when I did make lists on my phone, they weren't like is intricate, and I wouldn't keep track of everything as much or as often. Whereas if I have this list in front of me, and I tell myself, okay, today I want to get this done. I want to get a haircut. I want to go to the store and buy this, and then I also want to make a video about this. So if I put it on a list, and then the list sits there physically in front of me, then I'm more likely to actually do it and get those things accomplished, rather than if it's tucked away somewhere in my phone. So I recommend an old school pen and paper for keeping track of your own ideas, keeping a list of things that you want to accomplish, even if it's just a daily accomplishment list. I noticed that if I write it, then there's more of a chance of me doing it. If I write it down, then I care enough to make myself write it down, then maybe I'll care enough while I'm sitting there staring at it to get it done. So it's easy for me to talk myself out of doing shit and get lazy. Like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. But if you write it down and then you have it staring at you in the face, you know, like kabooter syndrome, have it sitting here staring me in the face, then I'm more likely to look it up. Oh my gosh, someone in chat just said Elmo versus Macho Man would be epic. Elmo versus Macho Man. Oh man. I think I could pull that off.
Do you really think that a puppet could mess with the Macho Man? You must be out of your freaking mind if you think that a puppet could step into the squared circle with the Macho Man. Then you must have a hand up your rear end controlling you and your thoughts, little man.
Elmo would kick your ass. Elmo would put you in a headlock, and then Elmo will climb up to the top rope, and then Elmo will drop an elbow on your face.
You better not steal my finishing move, little man. The elbow drop is made famous by the Macho Man. Oh, yeah.
Elmo's gonna steal your finishing move.
You better not steal my finishing move.
Elmo's gonna steal it. It's gonna be Elmo's elbow. Elmo's elbow on Sesame Street.
Did that just happen? Yep. That just happened. And that would have never happened unless that one dude wouldn't have brought it up. Because that one dude, what's his name? Dustin Thomas M. Dustin Thomas M said Elmo versus Macho Man. And therefore, I had to make it actually happen. I did not plan on having Elmo and Macho Man go against each other. See, he knew that I did a Macho Man impression, and he also knew that I could do Elmo. So he had the clever thought that the two of them face off in a wrestling promo. Very clever. And I just so happen to be the correct human being who can pull that off. So that's what I love about having an audience who knows my talent level and my skill level. Like that guy right there, he knows what I'm capable of. He knows the type of talent I am. I'm basically like a 90s wacky zany comedian. Like back in the 90s, we had wacky, zany, over the top comedians. And so basically I'm like a 90s era comedian. And with you guys, coming up with such funny ideas, and with me being a 90s era wacky comedian, look at all the fun that we are able to have organically, naturally. It is very natural for human to act like asshole on camera for fucking money. It makes me one with nature to receive super chat donations when I act like a fucking asshole. And so you send me your fucking money, I will act like fucking Elmo
Or Richie from Boston, or the Macho Man.
or whoever you want me to be. All right, now we have someone in the chat. Chris Dimead says Alex Stein versus Spherage. Oh boy, that's a good one because Alex Stein is actually a vegan.
Alex Stein, primetime 99 on the grind. I'm gonna go eat some vegan tacos at Taco Bell. Yeah, I'm gonna have some Impossible Meat vegan tacos. Yeah, Alex Stein on the grind, 99 prime time. Gonna go to Taco Bell, eat some vegan tacos. Let's go! Let's go! Vegan tacos! Vegan tacos! I want to eat the vegan tacos! I love vegan tacos! Hi, I'm Alex Stein. I'm at Taco Bell, and I'm about to order some vegan tacos!
What the fucking fuck? This guy, he's mentally fucking ill. What he does not understand is that impossible meat is fucking made from fucking anti-nutrients. Fake meat is poison and it's made from anti-nutrients, and therefore you are mentally ill if you eat fake meat.
I am at primetime! Primetime 99! I'm always on the grind! And just primetime 99 on the grind! I'm gonna eat a taco! An Impossible Burger taco! Yeah! Primetime 99! Alex Stein on the grind? Alex Stein on the grind? That's right! I'm in Texas, the Lone Star State. Got vaccinate, got vaccinate the mom, vaccinate the dad, vaccinate the sister, and vaccinate the dog. Vaccinate, I'm Alex Stein on the grind. 99, 99.
Wow. What the fuck? He's so mentally ill, he does not realize that eating fake meat will cause your testicles to shrink. In fact, the more fake meat you eat, the more your testicles will shrink, and then suddenly you will not have any fucking testicles left at all, and they will just fucking lop off onto the fucking ground, man. There you go. There's a little Alex Stein versus Svedia. Phonefoot says, "Hey, I'm in Texas. It's my state, not Alex 99." Well, he lives in Texas. He lives in Texas, and he recently went viral because he did a VAXX rap. He did a rap about the VAXX, and he did it in a town hall meeting, and it was terrible. It was the most cringy, terrible thing ever. And of course, it went viral, and so Jaron and Alex Stein were bragging about how he's such a moron that he went to a town hall meeting and put on this cringy rap. It's like it doesn't do anything to further the truth. It doesn't do anything except make anti-vaxxers look bad, look like retards. Is all it does. But yeah, his whole character is basically just repeating his own name and his nickname.
Primetime, Alex Stein. Primetime grind. Primetime Alex Stein on the grind 99? It's primetime Alex Stein 99? Hey, you know what time it is? It's primetime. I'm Alex Stein 99. It's primetime 99. Alex Stein?
It's,
No time.
and so he basically, his whole act is just saying his own name and repeating that he's Alex Stein, primetime 99. Mike says, should be a voice actor, dude. You got the range. Yeah, but here's the problem. Anything that requires me going to Hollywood is a no. Me going to Hollywood and having to live in that terrible town and sell my soul to a bunch of weirdos. See, that's the thing. Hollyweird is a bunch, it's weird. It's a bunch of weirdos and crooked people and bad people. And so if you want to become famous, you have to sell your soul and live there. If you look at all the people who actually had talent and before they went there, they actually had talent in their body and they owned their soul and they were good people. And then once they go to Hollywood and they sell their soul, then they become a shitbag and a weirdo and they're never the same. And so, whenever someone says you should, you know, go become a famous actor, or you should become a Hollywood comedian, you should go on The Voice, you should be an American Idol, I always tell them, well, that sounds like a great idea. And if Hollywood was run by honest people, then I would definitely go give it a shot. But it's not, and it's the opposite. It's run by completely dishonest, nasty, terrible, evil people. And I can't let them get their hands on my sweet talent or my sweet ass. Because that's what nasty, evil people in Hollywood want. They want my sweet ass, but they can't have it. Bub's Cat says Jim Carrey. Yes, I was actually compared to Jim Carrey throughout my middle school years. I could do Jim Carrey impressions and act like him, and I still pretty much can can replicate that energy, that '90s Jim Carrey energy. Uh, so yeah, I was definitely a fan of his back in the day, but he's not the same anymore. And you can tell Hollywood has got to him, and it's a shame. It really is. Foamfoot said, Jake, it's time to toke a bowl. I would, but I got too many people complaining about the smell. I smoked in the office too much, and then the other people who rent offices here complained. So uh, I have to go outside to smoke. Yeah. So the only way I can smoke is if I go outside. And if I take the computer outside, then it'll probably lose the Wi-Fi signal. And smoking on camera causes people to consider anything that comes out of my mouth like not credible because they'll think I'm high and a drug addict, and so they can use it against me and stuff. So it's probably best that I don't stop talking and sit there and smoke bowls because basically it causes everyone in the chat to just start talking about smoking weed and bowls, and we get off topic. And so I'm going to be not smoking as often on camera. A, because people were complaining, and then B, because it also like causes us to it derails our chats. So a lot of times we'll be chatting and then someone will be like, smoke a bowl, and then everyone will be like, yeah, yeah, smoke a bowl. And I stop and then we smoke a bowl and it derails whatever we're talking about. So we're gonna try and stay on topic more often and smoke less on camera. But that doesn't mean you can't not smoke while you're watching me. You can still smoke while you're watching me, Foam. So you guys feel free to toke it up while you're watching me. And actually, we're running long now. We're going on about 3 hours, and I'm getting a little tired. I should probably like get off here and take Rusty out for a walk, eat something. Um, but this was fun. I wanted to just run a stream this afternoon and just shoot the shit with you guys and talk about a few different topics. Wow, Jonna X with a donation coming in here down the stretch. $50 donation. Wow. Holy crap. Thank you, Jonna X. You're awesome. This is like your third donation today. Jonna X says, here's to 2 nice steaks for you and Rusty. Hey, with that donation, we will be eating like the king of queens. Thank you very much, Jonna X. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely appreciate these donations. Uh, and the fact that earlier you told me to sing a song of my choice, that was a cool thing for you to do. That's very very thoughtful for my subs to send me these messages and to do this for me. It's awesome. I have these cool people in my community who want to hang out, listen to me talk, send me super chat donations, buy me and my dog steaks. I couldn't ask for a better YouTube audience. I really couldn't. You guys, you're the best damn YouTube audience a guy could have. Warming my heart. You're gonna make me cry. I got a donation from Christian Sturzing. Hey, thank you very much, Christian. I appreciate it. Foamfoot says, "You're the best, Jake." Well, Foamfoot, hey, why don't you give me a call and just let me hear your girl voice and know that you're a girl and know that you're the girl in the picture, and then I'll give you back your wrench. So once you prove you're the girl in the picture, and I can confirm that you're not a guy playing a trick on me, then you'll get your wrench back. And don't be intimidated. You're an adult. I'm an adult. I've talked to my other female mods. So I've talked to Lula and I've talked to Faith on the phone. And I've even video chatted. So I know that they're women. So I'm only asking you to verify just so I know for sure that nobody's playing a trick on me. Yes, email me again, Foam, and I'll send you my number again. And if you can prove that you're that pretty girl in the photo, then you'll get your wrench back quicker than you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious motherfucker titty sucker two ball bitch got a ping pong pussy like son of a bitch and motherfucker gonna teeth like glass never done like a mommy of an ass toxic motherfucker tastes like what toxic motherfucker tastes like a who what bitch hey who slip it up dip 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 do slip it up dip 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 sold to the big fat ass in the back. All right. All right, let's go ahead and sing us a little goodbye tune.
Doop 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 doo shooby doo doop. It's the goodbye tune for you. Well, I hope you had a good time with me, 'cause I had a good time with you. So now we say goodbye, everyone. Now we say goodbye, everyone. Yeah, I hope that everyone had some fun. Now goodbye, everyone. Well, I'm going to see you next time. Scoop doop doobity boo. And next time that I hang with you, We're really gonna have to take off our shoe like we were Mr. Rogers. And now I gotta think of something that rhymes with Rogers. Fucking Frogers. That's right. All right. That was terrible. That's a terrible made up song. That was the worst made up ending song ever. All right, guys. Until next time, this is Jake the asshole, Jake Gibson, telling you to get out there and enjoy your life before the whole thing goes up in shit flames. All right. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the chit chats. Thank you for all the donations, all the emojis. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And let me get Rusty to say bye before we take off. There we go. Rusty's gonna say bye too. Say bye, Rusty. There he is. There's Rusty. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh, I got a donation coming in for Rusty. Look, Rusty, that's for you. You got a super chat, Rusty. What do you think of that, Rusty? All right, Foamfoot says to check my email. All right, I'll check my email. We're going to get off here. We're going to go take a walk. Mwah. Love you guys. See you later. Peace.